Welcome, nerdy knights of the well-rounded table, to Bohemian Geek Studies, where we take extremely dorky dives into our favorite fandoms. I'm Queen of Queries and defender of house elves and magical creatures, Sarah O'Connor. Welcome, welcome.
Watch your BGS. I'm Colleen McMillan, Gryffindor Prefect.
I am Quidditch commentator, Anders Drew.
And manager of Mischief, Flo Siegel.
And we might not have all, and we might have all graduated from Hogwarts not long ago, but our heads could still do with some filling, so let's head to class. And since we are into October now, we're going to be examining and theorizing about what happens during Halloween at Hogwarts. So let's now get into Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. Flo, since we know that this is your favorite book, why don't you recap for us what happened on Halloween leading up to Halloween that year?
Yeah, so we know that in Goblet of Fire, the Triwizard Tournament is going on, and on Halloween, the names actually get drawn for the Triwizard Tournament. So the names that come out of the goblet, Fleur, which really, let's pronounce it correctly because you've got a French person.
Yes, please. Oh, do it again. Sorry, I got so excited. Do it one more time.
It's Fleur.
Ooh.
I know. That was actually one of my email addresses for a while. Victor, Cedric, and Harry all come out of the goblet, and they become instant celebrities. And then, of course, Harry and Ron experience their first, really intense fight. Ron stops talking to Harry. He's, super jealous about his name coming out of the goblet. So that's what happened on Halloween that year. Not a super great one for our friend Harry Potter.
Yeah, and why don't we start with kind of the intro basic question, Anders? How are we sure that this actually happened on Halloween?
How do we know? Just from the texts?
Yeah,
The day before, so the day previously is when they set up the Goblet of Fire. So the Beauxbatons and the Durmstrang students have arrived. They have these major intros with the ship and the carriage. And then we get our official timeline centering moment when after the goblet gets set up. Dumbledore says champions have 24 hours to submit their names into the goblet, and that tomorrow night, Halloween, is when it'll make its choice.
There. See, it's just been too long.
Then we'll have
my
the
books.
feast.
Yeah, my Goblet of Fire needs a dusting off then. Okay, cool. And
what's
go ahead, Anders. I apologize.
Okay, I was gonna say what's kind of interesting about that. So they have this feast, obviously welcoming these foreign students and things, and then the very next night they have another one. So, I mean, obviously students at Hogwarts never go hungry, but this is two extravagant feasts in a row, which I think I think we get Harry's kind of inner commentary on that. It's almost like the Halloween feast is a little bit less impressive because it's their second one in a row. But what do you guys think? Is that too excessive?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that it's too excessive. I'm going to assume they were pretty different feasts. The welcome
decorations
feast.
And stuff.
Yeah, decorations, and also just the food. I feel like they were trying to be accommodating in the first feast. They had bouillabaisse and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I feel like the Halloween one was
so
probably
good.
I know, I love bouillabaisse.
Really good. I love bouillabaisse.
But I feel like the second one was probably very Halloween-y, And maybe
we're back to English food now.
Right. And maybe they wanted to introduce the Beauxbaton and the Durmstrang kids to Halloween, because I know we don't really do Halloween in France. So maybe it was just here, look at this quaint thing that we do.
Yeah, I agree. It was totally enjoy the cultures of the newcomers day one, enjoy our kind of culture day two is my interpretation, 100%.
The UK too really wasn't that huge on it when I lived there. They did it, but it wasn't as huge of a deal as it is here.
I know, that always kind of surprised me in the books that they kept bringing up Halloween, because Europe wasn't that big on Halloween. So
well, J.K. Rowling seems to really enjoy candy. She's always trying to push candy on the kids like Willy Wonka.
Very true. So we know obviously what happens to Harry that night. After Dumbledore calmly asks him about whether or not he put his own name in the goblet or not. and he ultimately decides that the decision is made. Harry has to compete. He goes back to the common room, and obviously most people, except for Ron, are extremely happy. They are throwing a party. All this is going on. But what do you guys think the other common rooms were like that night? So what was it like when Cedric went back to the Hufflepuff common room? What were the Slytherin and
I think
Ravenclaws
things are
like?
getting a little
Orgy
freaky in
and
Hufflepuff.
Hufflepuff was lit
Sure.
that night.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like
They
their
had-
greatest victory ever.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Ravenclaw,
Slytherins. Oh, you go first, Flo. Go first.
I feel like Ravenclaw was probably like pretty butthurt. Like I feel like it was pretty quiet. I feel like they expected that maybe they would get a champion because they're like
Roger
the
Davies, maybe.
smartest. Yeah, Roger Davies is like, fucking hell. Like how did I
That's
not
funny.
get it? So I think
Right.
Ravenclaw was probably pretty subdued.
And
Okay.
Slytherin
What
was
about-
already starting how to discredit Harry.
Oh,
Pretty
yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
They were
for
already
sure.
working on the buttons.
They were
Like,
drafting it up. They were ready.
Yep.
Yeah. Let's
Yep.
be real.
So, all right, what about going back to the carriage for the Beauxbatons students? Because we get like a small mention of these like two girls who are like crying into each other because they didn't get picked, but I mean, it's a little bit different than the
Flo, is that very
houses.
French?
I mean, we're like a pretty stoic people in terms of things like that. It's kind of like a pick yourself up by your bootstraps kind of thing. So I feel like they were probably pissed that they came all this way and didn't get picked. I feel like it's
Yeah.
more that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I don't know.
I could also imagine a few students who just wanted to get away, though. You know what I mean? Like, I could imagine a few people
Maybe.
Go on
who,
an adventure.
yeah, honestly, like, I don't need to like be in that whole tournament, but I wouldn't mind going abroad.
Well,
so
Victor Crumb's there. I mean, there are
Yeah.
celebrities there. And a
Yeah.
bunch of
And
other hot
Harry.
Durmstrang boys.
there's definitely some prestige going on. Like, I'd
Mhm.
be very curious to be able to get to go to Hogwarts for sure if I was an exchange student.
Do we think
Definitely.
Fleur has any friends?
I hope
think so.
I
hope
like
so.
her.
I like
Yeah.
her a lot. I just think she probably has like one or two that are just super close friends, and then everyone else is like.
It wouldn't
fucking
surprise
Fleur.
me if people were just jealous and stayed
Yeah.
away, or
Yeah.
were just impacted by some of the like reverberations of Vila. Like, that
Yeah.
just has to kind of screw with you a little bit.
Mhm. Yeah.
I feel like the Beauxbaton boys definitely had a great night that night, just like celebrating with her.
Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes. I hope it was a party. I really
hope so,
hope it was a
too.
party.
And you think the Durmstrang ship was any sort of party?
I
think
could imagine that
Durmstrang-
being a party.
They
And
just
that
like
would be the one.
Boring.
That would be the party that I think Karkaroff would be throwing that party.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
he was like
Maybe.
all in on Victor, on Crumb, before this even happened. So when it does end up being his little favorite, you bet he was gonna like break out the ale.
I think it was like brown liquor and absinthe. Like, it was one or the other.
That's so funny because I just picture them like chugging muscle milk and just
Yeah.
like getting yoked.
Gotta get swole for the
That's right. They're just like, all right, now it's on, guys. Like, everybody, let's pump it up.
Yeah.
Mhm. As poor Victor sits there like, I don't want to be here.
Yeah. That's the guy.
The celebrity that hates celebrity, maybe more than Harry.
Very
Bless
true.
them.
So focusing back in on the champions themselves, I mean, again, we know what happens with Harry. He's only 14, but these
Yeah.
other three champions just became instantly the most famous people in their
A lot of
respective
prestige.
communities. They're 17.
Mhm.
Which ones are hooking up that night? Which
Yeah.
ones are cashing in on that newfound fame and hooking up?
Fleur.
Yeah. I'm going to
I
say
don't-
Cedric, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Cedric, definitely,
Cedric
probably.
for sure. I feel
I
like
think Cedric as well.
I feel like Cedric probably like got it from a couple different people that night.
Whoa.
Damn. Well, yeah, we did say
I
it was
could
an
see
orgy
getting
happening in
handsy.
Hufflepuff.
I could see getting
No?
handsy with a couple of people.
Mhm.
I'm not sure if he went
Okay,
full.
is he dating Cho at the time?
I
No,
don't
that doesn't
think so,
happen.
not yet.
So
Until
we don't
the
even have to
Yule Ball.
worry. He doesn't even have to leave the common
Yeah.
room, guys. He's just, I mean, he's a
just
hot
pass
ticket
him
item.
around.
Yes. I feel like I feel like shit went down in Hufflepuff is all I'm saying.
I think so. Yeah.
My
And then, yeah,
Crookshanks
definitely
needs to
Do you
go.
think
And I would say
here?
for-
Here's a good question. How many people from other houses were invited into the Hufflepuff common room to celebrate?
That's an interesting one.
Maybe some claws went in there.
Maybe, but I also feel like Hufflepuff would like really want to celebrate this just them.
Just
Like,
them?
this was such a big deal.
Unless somebody was
Okay,
dating
okay.
somebody
Yeah,
else,
yeah,
maybe.
Yeah. Well, the cool thing
think-
about the Hufflepuff common room is also the way to get in doesn't change. Like the password
Right.
doesn't change. Like
Right.
if you know it, you
If you
know,
know it,
it
you know it.
forever. So
Yeah.
it's easier for other students to
I
get
think
in.
there were a few
Yeah.
guest students there. I'm not sure who they
Yeah, maybe.
are because I need to dust off my books, but I think there were a few guest appearances.
I mean, maybe Cho was there. Like, maybe they were just like getting to know each other, and she like showed up to congratulate him. Hey, Cedric.
Oh, we're both really good at Quidditch and we're both
Oh my God.
fantastically hot. Like, should we date? Yeah,
We
Yeah.
definitely should.
we should date.
But do we all agree that Crumb probably not actually?
No.
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 Crumb
I
took
could see-
4 shots of muscle milk, went to the gym, and then passed out.
Yeah.
That was it.
He's a very
It was a
stoic
lot for
dude.
him that day.
Yeah.
Like I think getting I don't see he's so stoic.
Mhm.
Sometimes the quiet ones surprise you folks. I'm just saying that I could see a witch getting minxy if there was a like who was it? Like Romilda Vaughn. If there was a Romilda
Romilda
Vaughn,
Yes,
Fine.
I was
Oh,
actually
that's
just
okay.
thinking that if there was that type of situation.
then yes.
Like a fangirl?
oh yes.
Maybe.
Oh yes.
I just
Well,
don't
you
feel
have all
like...
those girls
He
who
just
would
seems
always be
so
around
focused.
the library.
Right.
Yeah.
Just
I think he would be
following him.
so focused, just like, all right, now I have to study so I can win. So he immediately goes to like bed. And
I
then
feel
everyone's like, I
like-
guess we party without him.
Right. I feel like the girls were definitely around and they were like trying to get it, but
Yeah.
I think it was just Crumb in his hand that night. I don't think anybody else was there.
I don't think
Let's
it
go
had to be
celebrate by
them.
ourselves.
I'm gonna say then that I don't think it had to be, and so that was your choice,
Okay.
Crumb.
He would be
wait for
Well,
him and
that's
Harry.
fair.
Hermione.
Him and Harry would be the ones I would pick that didn't. If we were
Yes.
picking
yeah,
like
yeah.
Well, Harry definitely didn't. Harry
Yeah.
couldn't get
No.
it with a 10-foot pole at
No.
this point.
No. Well,
Let's
I
be fair,
think
he really can't even by book 6.
Yeah.
Struggle
struggle.
is real.
Well, I think Harry Potter's struggle is where we should probably wrap things up for Goblet of Fire because he eventually came
Think
into his
so.
own. But thank you so much for being with us and come back again for our detailed dorky dive into Harry Potter and into other things depending on if you click Bohemian Geek Studies in YouTube. And speaking of which, if you prefer to enjoy us in our podcast format, you definitely can do that on iTunes, TuneIn, Spotify, or wherever you get your other podcasts. Frankly, you can find us everywhere just using Bohemian Geek Studies, except for Twitter, which is just Geek Studies. And remember, we love hearing from you with your queries and theories via email at bohemiangeekstudies@gmail.com. Until next time, folks, wands up and keep those pages turning. Bye, y'all.
Bye.